Okay, picture this. A massive energy pipeline, like an artery, stretching right across northern Africa. We're talking $25 billion.
Huge project.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're diving into it today, the Nigeria-Morocco Gas Pipeline. Big news recently, the UAE officially joined the project.
Yeah, that announcement on May 8th, 2025 was pretty significant. It really signals things are moving forward.
It does. And the implications, well, they go way beyond just the 13 countries the pipeline actually crosses.
Oh, absolutely. The sheer scale is something else. It's planned to be 5,600 kilometers long.
5,600 kilometers. Wow.
Starting in Nigeria, obviously, with all its gas reserves, then going through Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone.
Okay, keep going.
Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, Senegal, Mauritania, and finally landing in Morocco.
13 countries. Phew.
But it doesn't stop there. The idea, the bigger vision, is to then link up to Spain and Portugal.
Right, tapping into the European energy market eventually.
That's exactly.
And this whole idea, it's been around a while, hasn't it, since maybe 2016?
Yeah, first proposed back then, but it really started solidifying after the feasibility studies were done. That was 2023.
Okay, and who did those?
Morocco's ONHYM and Nigeria's NNPC Limited, their national oil companies.
Got it. And the capacity we're talking about?
The projection is about 30 billion cubic meters of gas per year.
That's a lot of gas.
It is. And you see, for Morocco, this isn't just about letting gas pass through. It's a strategic move. They want to become a real energy hub for the region.
Makes sense. So connecting this to the bigger picture, the economic side, linking 13 countries like that must have huge potential for integration, right?
Immense potential. Think about West and North Africa, bringing those economies closer and addressing energy needs.
Yeah, places like Ghana or Senegal. I saw some World Bank figures from 2024. Their electrification rates were something like 61% and 70%.
Right. Still quite low in parts. So a pipeline like this could be a game changer for energy access using Nigeria's massive reserves. What is it? 206 trillion cubic feet, Africa's largest.
And jobs too, I imagine. During construction.
Definitely. There was an ECOWAS report, I think also from 2024, estimating maybe 10,000 direct jobs.
Okay.
And maybe 30,000 indirect ones. That's a big boost across several countries.
No kidding. And what about the strategic angle, maybe for Europe?
Well, think back to 2022 and the whole situation with energy supplies. Yep. Diversification became incredibly important.
Less reliance on single sources.
Exactly. So this pipeline offers another potential route. Plus, Morocco already has some infrastructure, like the Maghreb-Europe pipeline going to Spain.
So it builds on existing connections, potentially.
It could, yeah.
It's interesting. You see chatter online, like on X, people getting quite excited, saying things like this could redefine Africa's role in global energy markets.
Yeah, there's a lot of optimism. And it connects to tackling energy poverty locally, too, which is a huge issue.
Okay, so let's talk about the UAE's role then. Their involvement seems like a pretty big stamp of approval.
It really is. The UAE has been increasingly active in African infrastructure lately. Remember those investments in Sahel renewable energy?
I do, yeah.
So this fits that pattern. The suggested funding figure floating around is, what, $5 billion?
$5 billion, yeah. Which kind of lines up with those big climate finance pledges they made at COP28 in 2023, right? Like $100 billion overall.
Exactly. It seems consistent, though the final amount might still be confirmed.
And we shouldn't forget the OPEC Fund, too. They committed $800 million back in 2023.
Right. Having both the UAE and the OPEC Fund involved, it adds significant financial credibility. It shows strong international confidence,
Definitely signals belief in the project's viability. But a project this massive, crossing so many borders, there must be challenges, big ones.
Oh, absolutely. You can't ignore the security risks. Northern Nigeria, for instance, with Boko Haram activity, that's a real concern.
And political stability in general. Across 13 countries, things can change.
True. Guinea has had its share of instability, for example. These are factors they have to manage.
So how do they plan to mitigate that? Does the article mention anything?
Well, it points to the UAE's experience. They've handled huge, complex projects before, like the Baraka nuclear plant. That was a $3 billion project.
Okay, so they bring project management expertise.
Right. And Morocco's ONHYM has also brought in technical heavyweights like Total Energies and Shell for support. So bringing in the experts.
Makes sense. Now, shifting focus a bit, how does this fit into, like, Africa's broader goals?
Yeah.
Sustainable development and all that.
It's seen as a really key piece of Africa's energy transition. It aligns well with the African Union's Agenda 2063 for sustainable development.
And environmentally?
Yep.
And gas really clean?
Well, compared to flaring, yes. Nigeria flares a huge amount of gas currently.
Yeah.
The World Bank said 7.5 billion cubic feet in 2023 alone.
Wow, that's just wasted, burned off.
Exactly. So capturing that gas and using it is much better environmentally. Plus, for many West African countries, it's a cleaner alternative to burning coal or diesel for power.
Okay, so it's better than the alternatives, even if it's not zero emission.
Right. It's often framed as a transitional fuel.
Speaking of transitions, Morocco has those big plans for green hydrogen, doesn't it? Exporting to Europe by 2030.
They do. Very ambitious. And this gas pipeline could actually help bridge that gap, providing energy while they scale up their hydrogen production. Gas as a transition fuel, again.
Interesting. And what about the sort of diplomatic impact?
Well, it definitely elevates Morocco and Nigeria as major players in energy diplomacy, doesn't it? On a continental and even global scale.
Yeah, it repositions them.
And if this succeeds, it might encourage other big cross-border projects like that trans-Saharan gas pipeline idea that's been discussed for ages, pushing more economic integration.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the headline figures again, just to nail them down.
Sure.
$25 billion total cost.
Yeah.
Stretching 5,600 kilometers.
Right.
Crossing 13 countries: Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Gambia, Senegal, Mauritania, and Morocco.
Got them all.
With an annual capacity around 30 billion cubic meters. And key backers, including the UAE, the OPEC Fund, plus Morocco and Nigeria themselves.
That covers the basics.
So the source also kind of answers some common questions, like, what is the pipeline? Basically, it's about getting Nigerian gas across those 13 countries to boost energy and economies, right?
Exactly. Transporting gas, enhancing energy security, fostering economic links. That's the core goal.
And the countries we just listed.
Yeah.
And the benefits for Africa. You covered those: energy access, jobs, less gas flaring, economic integration, sustainable development goals.
All of those, yeah. It ticks quite a few boxes, potentially.
And why the UAE? Their growing infrastructure role in Africa and aligning with their energy and climate pledges.
That seems to be the key driver for their involvement, influence and investment.
Okay, so stepping back, this Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline, it really is more than just pipes in the ground, isn't it?
Oh, much more. It's a seriously bold vision. It could genuinely reshape energy security for a big chunk of Africa, boost economies, and even give Europe another energy option.
And the UAE's involvement adds that crucial financial and maybe logistical clout to actually make it happen.
Absolutely. That backing is key for something this ambitious.
The scale is just mind-boggling. $25 billion, 13 countries, over 5,500 kilometers.
It's massive. And hopefully for you listening, this deep dive has kind of unpacked not just the details, but the bigger picture, how it connects to global energy, climate change discussions, African development.
Yeah, those aha moments connecting the dots. So maybe a final thought to leave everyone with.
Go for it.
How might projects like this, these huge infrastructure links, physically connecting countries and continents, how might they actually change geopolitics in the long run? And, what other massive, maybe even unexpected initiatives could follow if this model proves successful? Something to think about beyond just the gas itself.